Okay, this I was not expecting. Okay, so a few weeks ago, we all saw the first weekend for Elemental. Just saw it, we saw how it was doing at the box office and just said, damn, that's a box office failure. Man, the movie was good. It should have had some better marketing. And now, like, what, 3 weeks later? And now it's the most highest grossing Disney film since Frozen 2? What happened? And honestly, we have to talk about this today, because once I saw this, I was just... It's almost like it happened overnight. And there's 3 reasons for why I think this may have happened, and let's get into it today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we're gonna see how Elemental just made an insane comeback. So, obviously, the first option, which makes the most sense, is word of mouth. I mean, Elemental released about a few weeks ago. At the time of this video, it's about a month. But the movie itself was actually pretty good. A lot of people, kind of passed up on the movie, didn't really think it was anything special, but the people that did see it, it was really good. The marketing just did a really horrible job of advertising the movie for what it really was. It just advertised it as a generic Pixar film that wouldn't be as appealing. And honestly, if I didn't give myself a chance to watch Elemental, honestly, I probably would have skipped out on it. But I'm glad I did, and the movie was really great. A lot of the story plot points about immigration and this true love story was never even advertised in the trailer. So it's just like, you didn't get to the meat of the movie. You just gave all these puns that were on the nose and weren't even that funny. And that's what turned off most of the people to Elemental. And honestly, that does make a lot of sense. Because the word of mouth have just been rising and rising. So many people making videos about it. So many people talking about it online. About it being so great. So most people said, maybe I should check out Elemental. And honestly, I wish I could say the same for Ruby Gillman. But that's a case on its own. Ruby Gillman Teenage Kraken, as I'm recording this, has been kind of removed from theaters. It's crazy, because the movie hasn't even been out for a month. It's only been about 3 weeks, and the movie's already on digital, and most people are watching it and actually are surprised by how much better it was than what the trailers were saying, but the movie was just okay at best. And it's really crazy, because at the point of this video, it's probably around the 30 million, maybe 40 million mark, and it's still not even close to making its budget back, which I was like, okay, at least this movie can make its budget back. But it doesn't look like it will. It's being pulled away from theaters all around the world already, because obviously blockbusters like Barbie, Oppenheimer, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all those other movies are coming in fast, and they're gonna take up the slots. And it's really sad to say, because this genuinely was not, it didn't deserve that box office, and it was really sad. Maybe if they chose the correct release date, maybe it was just something corporate going on. I really don't know. Maybe I'll talk about it in a future video, but it's sad to say, but I think Ruby Gillman has run its course. It's a good movie, but man, I really do feel bad for it. But we're kind of getting off topic, but regarding that, I think another factor for why Elemental has been really bombing off, if you look at the box office, international markets has blown up this movie. Like, it's almost like, okay, when the first weekend did happen, the movie wasn't even released in every country yet, so technically you do have it to give it some time, because the movie itself was really only released in the US, Canada, the UK, in some other countries, but it wasn't all over the world, and as the dates go on, it starts being released in other theaters, and then the box office starts to pick up. Honestly, the US and Canada cannot suffice the entirety of a movie's box office success. A movie needs to do well internationally for it to be a success, and it really did here. And specifically, if you look really deeper into the demographics, it looks like it's really hitting hard with Asian countries, specifically Korea. The more I looked into it, the director, obviously, of Elemental is Korean, and the story, meaning behind it, is that, his parents did immigrate from Korea to New York City back in the 60s, and worked really hard to give his son, an opportunity to have a better life than they had. and it's a really heart-touching story, and it really did hit hard with not just Asian countries that have immigration stories. It hit hard with everyone that had dealt with an immigration story and had to immigrate from another country. A lot of people resonated with that, and people are loving that movie. The movie has crazy reviews overseas, and I'm really happy that people are really liking this movie for what its true message was, not for Claude. Jesus. But I think with that, in the movie, I don't even think it still has released in every other country yet. I'm still getting comments about how Elemental still isn't releasing in their country till end of July, early August, which is just so surprising to me. And honestly, that's just... wow. So the movie is not done yet. And next, honestly, we have another reason people just waited. Look, a lot of people start to think that obviously the opening weekend is the determiner if a movie does well or not. And honestly, at the point we're in now, it's really not. If an opening weekend is bad, it doesn't mean the movie is dead on arrival. No, it could mean a lot of things. Maybe not a lot of people. First of all, yes, June was crowded. Not everyone could show up to a movie theater every single week. I've talked about this before. And maybe people just saw Elemental and said, I'll wait. I'll wait for the entirety of June to blow over, and in July I'll go check it out. Maybe that's what most families did. They most likely saw Spider-Verse, maybe just waited out on everything, maybe saw The Flash or Transformers or whatever came out, and said, I'll hold off for Elemental. And then once July rolled around, then people started to go see the movie. And that's why you saw the spike in, box office, because it's been making millions of dollars each day, which is really good. So it just keeps going. And I think, yeah, most people probably waited. June was way too crowded. June was probably the biggest mistake Hollywood has made this year and in a while. So that's really, really bad. But I'm happy that now people are going to go see Elemental, seeing how great of a movie it was, and it's doing really well. It's crazy to me that this movie is now the highest grossing movie that Disney has produced since Frozen 2. It's past Encanto, it's past Lightyear, obviously it would pass Strange World. It's doing phenomenal. And honestly, we honestly don't know where this movie is gonna stop, because I think Wade's voice actor had said a few weeks ago this movie was gonna run in theaters all the way until Labor Day. So this movie is gonna be in theaters for a while, so if you still haven't seen it, I do recommend go give it a watch. And we have another special guest today, actually, to give his thoughts on why Elemental might be making a comeback in the box office. Today we have RasiorBlade. Make sure to go subscribe to his channel, he's a great content creator. And let's see what he has to say about why Elemental's doing so great at the box office.
Yeah, so I'm being forced against my will to do this cameo. I have no idea who this is or how they got my number. This is very sketchy territory, please send help. But I actually really enjoyed Elemental, so I'll gladly talk about it again real quick. I made my own video about Elemental back when it first came out. It's on my channel, which you should subscribe to right now. Like my videos, ring that bell, jerk off to it, whatever boat you're floating, all that jizz. Anyway, I thought Elemental was a pretty good movie. Nothing amazing by Pixar standards, but still a solid 7 out of 10 film. But when I first reviewed the movie, it actually wasn't doing so hot, no pun intended. And a lot of that was because Disney just didn't market the movie well. There was very little marketing to begin with, and what marketing we did get involved this stupid Claw Boy and his dumb clawed face. But recently, it's actually been doing a lot better, and I think there's only one real reason for that. Good word of mouth. People saw the movie, they actually thought it was cute and fun, they talked about it on Twitter and stuff, and now more people have been encouraged to go see it. There are various reasons for why it wasn't doing so hot at first other than the marketing, but hopefully people realize that good success stories do need to take time in order to reach success. Not every movie needs to break records in their first weekend. Hell, sometimes movies don't even need to make money to be good. Not saying they shouldn't, just saying that money doesn't define a movie's worth, nor should it. But honestly, I think it's great that Elemental is bouncing back. It's a good movie that deserves to be a success. My only real fear with this is that Disney is going to be convinced that with this kind of success, they won't need to market their movies at all. Oh, the movie's doing fine now. We won't need to waste money on the marketing now. No! Market your fucking movies, Disney. Yes! A conveniently broken window! I'm out of here, Chili!
Man, I just bought that window. What a shame. But anyways, all jokes aside, make sure to go check out RasiorBlade's channel. He's a great content creator. He makes some great videos. But yeah, I feel like Elemental is finally starting to pick up what it really needed. An opening weekend isn't a determiner for whether a movie does well or not. The word of mouth was really lifting the weight for this movie, and I'm glad enough people were clamoring for this movie, and now people are actually going to go see it. I'm glad now the movie's starting to release in other countries, and now we're starting to see a pickup in the box office. Just because the movie doesn't do well in America doesn't mean it's gonna do bad overseas. And we clearly saw that with Elemental. A lot of people overseas are just loving this movie, and I feel like, yeah, I think this is gonna be a Pixar movie to be remembered. And the fact that people are still waiting for this to release on Disney Plus, saying, oh, it's doing great. Still wait for coming out in Disney Plus. You do you, but I'm really happy for Elemental. The movie itself isn't anything like insane from previous Pixar movies, but it was alright. It was pretty good. And I'm really glad to say that, honestly, I think it's not much of profit, I know that, but I think it'll get to the point where it's not a colossal failure like a lot of people were saying it was. And that's where I want to leave it. I'm really happy for Elemental. We have another comeback story for animation. Remember Puss in Boots and everyone thought that was gonna do horrible? I think Elemental's box office will probably fall under where Puss in Boots was at in regarding box office, since it's running until Labor Day, which is surprising. But what do you guys think? Have you already seen Elemental? What did you guys think of it? And were you expecting this comeback? Because honestly, I really didn't. So yeah, that's all from me. Make sure to go check out RasiorBlade's videos, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.